What if I gave you access to 159 training sessions for a dollar? What would your reaction be? Would it be, that sounds too good to be true? Would it be, the training sessions must be garbage if he's giving them away for that cheap? Would it be, what's the catch? What is your reaction? So I wanted to show you something inside my group coaching program because I'm curious as to what people think. So I've got this table of contents in here, and I started in September 2019. I'm just going to open this in a new tab here. And these are the training sessions. Now that one actually has like 10 videos in it, but typically it's 3. So this one is actually 11. So I do these 1-hour trainings every week, and I teach people how to sell products online, like print-on-demand products or digital products. So this one was Christmas, and then I did another one. So this one was dad to daughter, and then to my wife. And then I went to Valentine's Day, and then funny coffee mugs, like how to research, how to launch, how to ramp up and scale and use email sequences. In that case, I use a Gear Bubble store, but this can really be applied to anything: Etsy, Shopify, WooCommerce. Then I went to Mother's Day, did round 1 and then round 2, because that's a great time for gift giving. And then Father's Day, and then teachers for a teacher gift challenge. I think we went with Etsy for this one. I can't remember. And then wedding season 1, wedding season 2. So we did wedding gifts and then necklaces. And then I started going into the face masks right in 2020 in pandemic. And then message cards, which you can't even sell on Etsy anymore, unfortunately, but you can sell them on Shopify and WooCommerce. And then another Christmas challenge came around. And then Valentine's Day, selling necklaces. And then birthday presents, which you can sell year-round, which is awesome. Now, back then, I was using a platform called Gear Bubble directly, so you didn't have to have a store. And it was good. It worked. Kind of regret that a little bit in that I didn't build up my email list enough. So I started shifting to like Etsy and Shopify and now WooCommerce more and more. Because that's the thing. As you move along in your business, you'll start seeing things that work and things that don't work. And then back in 2021, ran TikTok ads and St. Patrick's Day t-shirts. And then Mother's Day again. Mother's Day is a huge one that's coming up pretty soon. Father's Day, did hats, and actually Facebook Marketplace in that one. So we're looking at all different ways to get things up and running. And then Etsy and Shine On, which this one actually can't work anymore because their integration's been removed from Etsy. And then Etsy and watches. But the training itself can still be used. It just can't be applied to some of the platforms. So you got to tweak it. So you got to go with your own store typically. Wedding gifts are always a big one. Then personalized mugs on Etsy. And this way was the manual way that you can do them. And then birthdays. And then email list challenge, which is basically talking all about email marketing. And then the Christmas challenge again. And then I went with the Godfather email method, which is basically making them an offer that they can't refuse, getting them on your list, and then selling them products from your list. So I think challenge number 28 is very important. It still applies today. And then Valentine's Day again. And then the 30 and 30 method using free traffic, which we covered quite a bit of. Then Mother's Day again with the fan club method, which is the method I started way back, and this actually works pretty well now too. Taking like a popular TV show or something like that, building up a big group, building up a big list, then just marking them products to them, which works very well. And then again, Mother's Day and TikTok ads, Father's Day, groom to bride gift, and then Shopify and print on demand I covered extensively in here in Challenge 35. And then Etsy and print on demand I covered. And I've got another one on WooCommerce and everything. So Etsy and Halloween, Etsy and Christmas, Etsy and personalized ornaments. These sell really well. You could just build it like an ornament store on Etsy and do very well. And then custom name necklaces on Etsy, which we can't do anymore, but you can still sell them on your own store. Valentine's Day, challenge 1 and 2. And then here I got into personalized products on Etsy on autopilot. So the other challenge did it manually. This one does it on autopilot, which is very cool. So just showing you the supplier that actually allows you to do that on Etsy, and then step by step exactly how to do it. Then Mother's Day again, Father's Day. I don't know why there's two. That's a spelling mistake on both those anyway. And then mock-ups. I got into mock-ups, and once I ran this challenge on mock-ups, I actually decided I'm going to also run an Etsy digital AI challenge on my YouTube channel, where for 7 months, basically, I created a shop on Etsy dedicated to mock-ups, and it's at the point now where it is actually selling on autopilot. And I did get stung a little bit when people started spreading rumors about not being able to use mockups on Etsy, which is complete BS, but people believe anything. So that actually hurt my store. But the store is up and running, and it is on autopilot now, and I haven't really touched it, and it's still making money after 7 months, and that will only get better over time. And then digital invites on Etsy, and then Tumblr designs, not the tumblers, but the designs, and then memberships. We talk about that. So it's not just creating an Etsy shop, but it's also putting a membership attached to it where you can give stuff out to people every month. On the digital side, that works really well. Print on demand wise is a little bit more complicated. Then personalized ornaments on Shopify. And then I revived a shop on Etsy. Then now we're swinging into the WooCommerce area, mainly because I want people to have options. So I don't really care which platform you sell on, whether it's Etsy, Shopify, or WooCommerce. They all have their advantages and disadvantages. Some are very expensive. Some are a lot cheaper to run. Some make more sense. Some have, the ability to suspend you or put you in a payment reserve whenever they feel like it. It's all a matter of personal preference. So do you want to build your store on Etsy? That's fine. You're going to move super slow. You're going to get very little results, and you're going to spend a lot of time on it. It takes like a year to 2 years to even start getting consistent results on Etsy. I don't care what the product is anymore. That's just the dip that they're in. Long term, it makes sense. Short term, yeah, no, it doesn't. And then Shopify is also a good option. They just raised their prices. So now you're renting a store from Shopify, which is cool. It's fine. There's a lot, it's very popular. A lot of people do it. And then there's WooCommerce. That's like this thing that's out there that most people, I had a guy say, he's like, what would you do if you started over today? I'm like, I would build a WooCommerce store. He's like, what's that? I was like, oh my God. It's one of the biggest like e-commerce plugins for WordPress out there. And it just makes sense because you own it 100%. So if I were starting over, I would do WooCommerce, but I understand that everybody's at a different level. Everybody has different opinions and different things that, ways that they feel. So right now in here, that's 54 challenges. But if I go in here too, we're not done. I'm running the St. Patrick's Day one, 2024 as of shooting this. There'll be more if you're looking at this video later. But in here, what am I teaching people? How to sell St. Patrick's Day products in 2024. Because courses are wonderful. Courses are great. It's just with courses, when you put them out there, they tend to get outdated pretty quick. That's why I do everything live. So it's the most up-to-date possible training on Etsy, Shopify, WooCommerce, and print on demand and digital products. I'm going back in 2024 to leaning on print on demand products more and more because I kind of missed them. And that's where I made the most of my money. I spent 2023 doing digital products, but I think 2024 is going to be dedicated to print on demand. So my question for you is, what do you think? Is that too much? Is that offer insane? Does that make sense? Why would I offer all that for you for like $1 to try it out? Why would I? Well, it's because I want to help as many people as possible. I know people think like people who teach online, they teach it because they can't do it. I think I've proven over the years and haven't been around for like coming up on 5 years now, right on this site, that I actually know what I'm doing and I'm willing to teach you. But you have to invest some time. You have to take some action. And there is a little bit of luck involved too. I'll be honest with you. Imagine if you could go back to 2020 and you're like, should I start an Etsy shop? Yeah, I would say definitely you should, because in 2020, at the start of the pandemic, everybody was like at home and they had nothing to do. So what did they do? They went online and they shopped. And they shopped like crazy. So if you open an Etsy shop in like 2019, 2020, that thing would have had one crazy ride up, like upwards, 2021, 2022. And now it's kind of dipping a little bit because it's like a recovery from the pandemic. Everything moves in big cycles. It will be back. It's just not there right now. So Me personally, I don't care. You want to do Etsy? Fine. You want to do Shopify? Fine. You want to do WooCommerce? Fine. Doesn't matter to me. You want to do print on demand? Awesome. You want to sell digital products? No problem. I got you covered. Why don't you come on in here, give us a shot, see what you think. Test it. I got a $1 trial for 7 days. It does convert to a full membership after that. If you don't want to stick around, send me an email. I'll cancel you. No problem at all. Let me know what you think. Is that a crazy offer? Is that too much? Post in the comments.